John Hill, 10 Eyewitness News.
Well, Toyota's decision this week to stop making cars in Australia could bring an unexpected boon for new car buyers. The federal government is under pressure now to scrap tariffs on imported vehicles, tariffs that deliberately make new cars more expensive. But the Treasurer is stalling. Our National Affairs editor, Paul Bongiorno, joins us now. Now, Paul, if there's no local car-making industry left to protect, why do we still need the tariff?
Well, Hugh, today the Treasurer, in a moment of frankness on radio, said he had no tax to give away. He probably meant after giving away the carbon and the mining taxes, but he's getting no pressure from Labor on this. The opposition would prefer to see the revenue from the tariff used for a transition package for the 5,000 sacked car workers. 9 out of 10 new cars sold last year were imported. Protection for the local car makers can add $1,000 to the price tag.
If it's good enough to abolish the carbon tax and the mining tax, then frankly we shouldn't continue to oppose an unnecessary tax on consumers.
It's a multi-million-dollar windfall for the government, he says, and should be handed back to motorists.
You've got CD?
No argument from this new car buyer.
We live on a single income. Every dollar counts.
The Treasurer keener to blame the unions and Labor for the car industry's demise than to start cutting the tax in a budget desperately short on revenue.
This is something that will certainly be considered by our review of taxation.
And besides,
there will still be vehicle assembling for a number of years, and we don't want to make immediate changes that would compromise that ongoing work.
We think the government should start looking at that in this year's budget.
The opposition was more concerned with reports the government is spending $2,000 a day on public relations experts to convince voters the sale of Medibank Private is a good idea. The government-owned health insurer's estimated worth is $4 billion, but the Finance Minister insists no final decision's been made.
I see that the government's saying they haven't made a decision, and yet they're spending money on spin doctors to justify a decision they say they haven't made.
Though it sold the Commonwealth Bank, Labor's opposed to this sale. Well, Labor says that selling Medibank Private would see health insurance premiums rise. And I've got to say, it's hard to see the Treasurer resisting the sale in a very tight May budget.
And he's promised it in the past. Paul Bongiorno, thank you for that.
The rumblings here and in Bali